14 minutes before the top of the hour, the Libertarian Party nominating former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson as its presidential candidate for the second time.
In 2012, Johnson barely got 1% of the popular vote, but a recent poll shows 10% of voters now prefer him as their pick for president. So could he actually be a deciding factor in 2016? Let's ask him. Libertarian Party presidential nominee Gary Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Thanks for having me on this morning.
So, Governor Johnson, I live down in Washington. There are a lot of reporters and people who talk about the race all the time. You're known, the most famous position that you have is that you want to legalize pot. Do you think that that's why you got 10% this time?
Oh, no way. Look, I'm fiscally conservative. I'm the small government guy. If you want small government, I've really got a proven record. And Bill Weld was also nominated this weekend as my vice presidential candidate. So we are two governors that have served in heavily blue states as Republicans. So we're small government guys, but we're also socially liberal. And I think that's the makeup of most people in this country. And I think the Libertarian Party actually represents most people in this country, but they just don't know that they're libertarian.
This is going to be a race to watch, because take a look at this new Fox News poll, as we just mentioned, 2016 presidential voter preference. You now with 10%, Donald Trump 42, 39 for Hillary Clinton. And, of course, we've been talking about the unfavorables among Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. These two presumptive nominees have both very high unfavorables. What separates you from those two individuals, and do you think that you could be the big disruptor?
Well, really, libertarians, kind of the best of both parties, or at least what the parties are supposed to be about. Aren't Republicans supposed to be about small government? Aren't Democrats supposed to be about civil liberties, people being able to make choices in their own lives as long as those choices don't adversely affect others? And look, with regard to these military interventions, how about some skepticism at the table when it comes to the fact that we have boots on the ground, we're dropping bombs, we're flying drones that are killing thousands of innocent people, that at the end of the day, it's having the unintended consequence of making the world less safe than more safe. You know what? We've got 69 treaties with foreign countries where we are obligated to defend their borders, and these are treaties that were not negotiated by Congress. They were negotiated by the president and the military. Involve Congress in all this. They've abdicated their responsibility.
Because of those low favorability numbers that Clayton mentioned for both Clinton and Trump, there's a concern among both parties that some voters are just going to stay home on Election Day. What are you going to do to try to court voters that are disenchanted with their own parties on the Democratic side and the Republican side specifically?
Well, to court is just being able to be in the polls. I mean, it's really a self-fulfilling prophecy. You point out a poll where I'm at 10%, but guess what? There have been 40 other polls where my name hasn't appeared. I believe that if my name were just to be included in the polls, I think the scrutiny that would go along with my record and Bill Weld's record, and we are running here really as a partnership. I think we have strengths that complement one another, and that we really, two, like I say, former Republican governors serving in heavily blue states, isn't that kind of the makeup of most people, being fiscally conservative, small government, and look, shouldn't we be able to make decisions in our own lives? Always come down on the side of choice when it comes to individual freedom and liberty.
Well, this race just got a whole heck of a lot more interesting. Governor Gary Johnson, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Libertarian presidential candidate for 2016. Thanks so much for joining us on this Memorial Day.